One of the saddest things I have come to realize is that once you have mastered the language that relates to the scriptures like cuneiform, Akkadian, Aramic, Hebrew, Syriac, Arabic, Egyptian hieroglyphics, and the Greek, you'll find that many of you who are believers in the three institutionalized monotheistic religions, by whichever nickname you give it, be it Judaism, Christianity, or Islam, by whichever denomination name you give it, be it Sunni, Jehovah Witness, or Hebrew Israelite, or by whichever sect name you interpret it as, you all have been misguided by your preachers, rabbis, imams, and other religious titles. And because you blindly want to accept the religion of your parents, all the way back to the slave master's religion, you don't realize that your soul is being led astray by poor translations and misinterpretations, all to keep you all faithful believers. Let me remind you, though, that one who merely believes does not know. Now let that sink in before you get mad at me for disclosing the truth. This lesson will be dealing with the facts as usual and meanings as found in those original texts, in their original language. You may not like what I have to say about what you are calling your God, but if you sincerely want the facts, you will research and find it all to be nothing but the total truth. We live in a day and time where the entire world has been influenced by religion in some shape or form. And so the evil one who gave you religion has made sure to write many books based on misinformation and has also put many wrong answers in internet search engines which supports his very misinformation. And since most believers are intellectually lazy, they simply accept anything that supports their belief, right or wrong. Just look at the word monotheism, which is a word composed of two Greek words. Mono, meaning single, and alone, and theism from the Greek word Theos, which is really from the Greek word theoria, meaning speculation. And yet in English, it is said to mean God, which is wrong in these modern times. Message! What is so wrong with this definition? I know many of you didn't catch it, but let me say, as the battle rappers say, slow it down. Listen carefully. It is impossible for the Greek word Theos to mean God, simply because the Greek language origin dates back to between 1450 and 1350 BC. And the word God, which has its origin in the Old English, which is a member of the Old High Germanic language family, which did not come into existence until 750 AD, which is long after the Greek language. You follow? Message! Now, in other books, your so-called scholars would say that the word God means eternal, almighty being who is the creator, sustainer, and ruler of the universe. But the fact is, the word God etymological meaning is from the German word gut, which merely means good. And as you can see, with the removal of one O, you get your English word God. Now, the evil translators in these modern times would say that this is not true, but that is just the lies of lies. These are the facts, and the lies must stop. Let me show you some actual facts that you probably never heard. They tell you that the word monotheism means the belief in a single God, and yet the Greek word theism etymologically means God or gods, meaning plural. Anyone can see that this is a clear contradiction in this meaning. Let's revisit the word mono again, which means single. And at the same time, the word theism is defined as a plural. You can't have a plural within a single, and yet it's still considered a single God. That is impossible. Message! You as individuals have got to start dealing with the facts. Who is this God of the Bible? Who is the Allah of the Quran? What kind of creator is he who makes man in his image and after his likeness in Genesis 1:27 and allow evil things to happen? And if man was made after the image of God, then everything about man should be exactly as God. What does that say for the God that you worship? You have got to address yourself and ask, do I really know who I'm worshiping? And do I really know the meaning of this word, God? And more importantly, do I want to know? For many people do not really want to know, for they're comfortable in what they think they know based on the lies they have been told since children. Message! The confusion is, your religious leaders have you all thinking that God is a supernatural being when he is not. They have given you a misinterpretation of the Almighty. the real Almighty that is the source of your existence. This Almighty source who created you and gave you your senses is not the same God that you worship in the Old Testament, the New Testament, or the Quran. These three major religions believe in the same extraterrestrials and simply call them by different names such as God, Yahweh, or Allah, when really they are nothing but the Anunnakis and some the Netzir. Message! The word God, when translated from other languages, is the most common English translated word throughout the world, and it is interchangeable when referring to humans. Don't believe me? Check it out. You can look up the following quote, such as Genesis 3:5, to see how the word God is used for human beings, where it states, "And ye shall be as gods." And ye, meaning you or all of you. The Aramaic Hebrew word used for God here is Elohim, meaning judges. The word Elohim, as found in Genesis, is falsely translated as God in English to give the impression that it is in a singular form, when in actuality it is in a plural form. What do I mean? Well, in the etymology of the word, each person can be an Elo, but Elohim is a group of beings, angelic or human. So, when an Elohim steps away from the group, he or she becomes an Elo, and the supreme being amongst that group is referred to as the El. So, just like in English, any word that has an S on the end, it becomes plural. Well, in Hebrew, any word that has a yod, meme, at the end, it becomes a plural as well. Message! So, do not be fooled by false translations which tells you that the word Elohim means God. That just isn't true. The purpose for explaining this is so you can better understand that the word Elohim could not be referring to one entity as these translators claim and would like you to believe. Now, the same tricks that are played in the mistranslations of the word God in the Torah and the Bible are the same games played in the Quran with the word Allah. The word Allahumma is found a total of 5 times in the Quran. That's 336, 5114, 832, 1010, and 3946, which is the same as the Aramaic Hebrew word Elohim found in Genesis 1:1, which states, "In the beginning, God created," which is really the plural Hebrew word Elohim. Yet they try to make you think there is only one God in English. Message! You can find dual and plural of the name Allah in the Quran. That is Quran 5:116. The dual of the word Allah that is being used here is the Arabic word Ilahain, meaning two Allahs. Now, let's take the word Alihatuna, found in Quran 43:58 in Arabic. Alihatuna is one of the plural forms of Allah, which translates in this quote meaning our Allahs. Thus, you find Allah in the Quran as a plural, whether it's referring to other Allahs or other people or not. So, you see, Allah is also used as a plural form for God, and thus each man is an Illah. The mistranslators will also try to convince you that Allahumma is singular. However, it is a group of beings, angelic or human, just like Elohim in the Torah or the Bible. Now, in the New Testament, which uses the Greek language, the word for God is Theos. As I explained before, the word Theos etymologically refers to both God or gods, meaning it's plural and interchangeable. This clear contradiction can be seen in Acts 14:11, and I quote, "The gods are come down to us in the likeness of man." The word for God here is the Greek word Theos. Then in Matthew 5:8, where it states, "Blessed are the pure heart, for they shall see God." The same word Theos is being used again, but only as a singular form for the word God. So even in the Greek language, they can't decide whether or not they want to use the Greek word, which is obviously a plural. Message! This is how easy it is for a sincere person to be misled, who relies on the translators and interpreters who have not studied, or even worse, who do not know the language which they are translating from. So, not only are these words attributed to human beings, they also can mean more than one being. So when people say, "Who do you think you are, Khafre, calling yourself a god?" I say in the words of Kanye West,
I just told you who I thought I was, a god.